911, what's your emergency? Hello? Hello?
This film was originally produced for the Pacific County Superior Court Judge, the Honorable Michael Sullivan, to powerfully express my position against the state's plea bargain with my batterer. For what the prosecuting attorney himself said in the plea bargain, quote, "The state has no doubt Mr. Kaiser attempted to kill Ms. Holland April 22, 2009, and that he acted with great cruelty in doing so." All recorded 911 interview audio and information comes from public record. This film will demonstrate the severity of domestic violence. Although victims feel alone, we are not. Like the protesters during the civil rights movement, we are many as 1 in 4 or 3 in 5, and there are countless resources to help victims, from law enforcement, advocacies, educational classes, legislation, and the court system, to name a few. I want to define and show the role Stockholm Syndrome plays. My goal with this film is to empower victims, encourage them to come forward, and educate those who do not understand, especially those who blame and shame victims of domestic violence. There is a significant call for action because there are a significant number of victims, ranging from emotional abuse to homicide. The man I thought I was in love with for 2.5 years became abusive during the final 10 months of our relationship. He was violent towards another vendor while working the Sunday market in June 2008. This was my first experience seeing his temper. He was kicked out of the market. The horror began. Several months later, while playing cards on April 18, 2009, he said to me, "We haven't had a fight for a while. We're due for a big one." I told him, "I love you. I don't like fighting." Later that evening, a witness observed him beating me in his truck.
You saw them in the vehicle and he was beating her?
And
then you followed them to this address and
Yes.
She went inside and he kicked the door in?
Yeah, she closed the door and he came up and just kicked it.
I protected him. In layman's terms, the victim bonds with her batterer. We want to protect them because we love them. It's a web, a sticky spider web, a subconscious act of self-preservation. We love them and we want to fix them. We think we can. They won't do it again. If only he won't do it again. On April 22, 2009, he followed me to my college campus and forced me to leave with him. I wanted to escape from his truck numerous times, but he seemed to sense my intentions. I had one hand on my seatbelt, the other on the door handle, and he denied me the opportunity by speeding up and running the stop signs. Witnesses observed this crime.
And he ran the stop sign, and she was in the car with him.
What kind of car was it?
It was a red pickup, 4-door, newer model.
So when you were behind him, was there anything about his driving that...
He was just going fast, kind of navigating around cars that were coming to a screech because he wasn't stopping at that intersection.
Okay. And what intersection was that again?
That was at the corner of Jerome and 16th, right at the corner of the college.
How close was she sitting to the man?
She was not close to him at all. She was hugged right close to the door.
So you said you could hear him shouting profanities, kind of going back to the game?
And he was just screaming so loud. And I never heard her voice. I don't remember ever hearing her voice. I mean, he was hollering, bad. He was screaming at her. It's scary sounding. I felt that this person was in trouble. This person needed help, and I was going to stop, and I was going to call 911 and let them know.
Do you feel like her safety was threatened in some way?
Her safety, definitely. That's why I called.
Okay.
Yeah. Her safety was definitely threatened.
He drove me across the bridge to Washington and kept me against my will for several hours. He beat me in what I would call a cat and mouse assault, lasting for about an hour and a half. He strangled me twice and slammed my head into the cement countless times. I tried to blindly call 911 from my cell phone, which was hidden in the pocket of my hoodie. He forced me into a tiny cement room. I was backed up against a ladder. He grabbed a hammer and he swung it back and forth, chanting, "Bash her! Bash her! Bash her! Bash her!" He lit a long lighter and held it against a jug of paint thinner. I watched the flame bend. I said, "Oh my God, Dan, what are you doing?" He said, "What do you think, Bobby? I told you you're not effing getting out of here. I'm blowing us up." I could hear the 911 operators saying, "Hello, hello." So I coughed to cover their voices. No way did I want him to know that I had a cell phone. I prayed they could hear what he was doing to me and that they would be able to find me through my cell phone signal. He tied my hands and later ordered me into the ceiling crawl space. It was then that I was finally able to speak with one of the 911 operators.
911, what's your emergency? Hello? Are you okay? No? Can you tell me where you are?
What are you doing? You're so scary. Please wait.
Hello?
What are you doing? Damn it! Show me! Stop! Fuck! Fuck, man! No.
He started towards me. I didn't know if he had a weapon, but he told me his intentions were to kill me, so I begged him to stay back. When he began to approach me, I kicked through a ceiling tile, careful to only kick through one so as not to agitate him further. He quickly crawled across the ceiling to capture me as I descended the cedar tiles below. He grabbed me by my hair and hoodie. I screamed and wiggled, trying to gain my freedom for 40 seconds. This was captured on the 911 tape.
Take your thing off! Take that thing down! Go ahead.
Okay, I'll get a location on this. I think you've beaten it.
After I was able to reach the main floor of the fish factory, I ran past the glass door that I knew was locked and straight to the garage door. I was able to open the garage door and crawl under before my legs melted. You grabbed me by my hair, ripped me onto my back by my hair, and dragged me back in. My fingertips scraping the pavement as you dragged me in. My blue jeans were pulled down to my knees. As badly as I wanted someone to drive by and help, I couldn't help worrying about being half naked. And then you closed the door, and I knew I would not see Logan or my older kids again. You kept saying you were going to kill me. You just kept slamming me into the floor again, over and over and over. You swung a bam-bam bat at my body. You wrapped both hands around my neck and strangled me hard. I could not breathe. I watched your veins popping out of your head, your eyes bulging. You got up and told me, "Now get in the freezer," as you walked far enough away to check on a sound outside. And I ran to another door, which I knew you kept locked. But it wasn't. And I ran. I hid behind Carolyn's Jeep tire. You came out and called me. "Bobby, Bobby, come on back, Bobby. Let's talk about this." As I crouched behind that tire, I watched the blood from my fingertips pool, then drip onto the pavement while I was praying, "Please God, watch over me. Please God, watch over me." And he did.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. At the tone, please record your message.
Hi, this is a 911 operator. Your phone call 911. If you have an emergency, call us back. Thank you.
Dispatch.
Hi, this is Astoria Dispatch.
Hi, what's
Hey,
up?
we just got a it was at 1708, but I've been trying to call it back.
Oh.
It's hitting off of the tower in, I guess, your county. It's 1.48 miles north of State Highway 401. That's what it says. Yep. Because I can't find them at all.
You have reached the Verizon Wireless Subpoena and Court Order Processing Group. If this is a 911 or life-threatening emergency, press 4 now.
Yep.
Verizon Wireless, Shirley speaking.
Hi, this is the Astoria Police Department in Astoria, Oregon. We have an 911 and we're trying to locate the phone number.
Okay, and your name?
Emergency. My name is Summer.
And the mobile number?
It's 803 from dispatch.
Go ahead.
We've gotten a couple 911s. They were open lines. You can hear a female and a male. We traced the number from the cell. The first 911, there wasn't anything heard except for them arguing. And the second 911 that came in, she whispered that she couldn't talk, but she needed help.
Got me around also.
808 from dispatch. Be advised that the 911 the other dispatcher received sounded like it was physical.
Are you able to call the cell phone back to get any updates? If it's not at this place.
We've been trying to call the cell phone back, but they're not answering. When she called, she said help. She needed help.
Her car's not here, but they said she's got a very violent boyfriend that lives somewhere down in Alameda. We're going to see if we can find him.
I copy. Do they know his name?
All they know is his name is Dan. He runs for DUI here recently.
Copy.
803, be advised, he is a violent person. We could hear that in the background.
Verizon Wireless, Shirley speaking.
Hi, this is the Astoria Police Department again.
Okay.
Hi, I was wondering if you could get a ping off of the
814, is that what 803?
We don't ping, but if you're looking for a cell tower address, I could provide you with that.
803.
Check in-house, please, Dan. It's Kaiser.
Affirmative, it's West Lexington. There's a caution indicator. It says anti-police for Officer Deckers.
Okay. Did you get a hold of the cell phone company? Are they going to tell us about where this was hitting off of?
I contacted the cell phone company. That's where we got the address. They can't give pings. They can only give cell tower, and the cell tower is the cell tower across the river.
Why can't they give pings?
That's unknown. They just said that they don't give pings.
Dispatch 808, can you call them back again and advise them? Well, actually, Danny Kaiser just showed up. Where's she at?
I don't know.
Okay, you got blood on you.
I guarantee it's not human blood.
Well, I can test it real quick.
So like I said, I threw this thing on when I left the fish factory.
So why don't you take it off? I'll test it for human blood then.
No thanks.
That's what I thought. We're going to get to the bottom of this. You got blood on you. You got a 911 call from her saying she needed help. It sounded very violent in the background. Okay, and the cops were there just the other night. So, Danny, when's the last time you saw Barbara?
Up at the college?
Today. Did she leave with you guys left on the left side?
No.
Okay. Okay, Danny. Here's what's going on. We got a call from, we know it's your girlfriend's cell phone. We hear a violent thing in the background. You're not being the most cooperative.
As usual, huh?
You told me that you left at the college.
I did.
The witness said that you and her left in the truck together.
We did. We drove down. I took the corner. She got out. She went inside the cafeteria and did her class thing.
Now that's coming from her cell phone. It hit across the river, you're across the river, so what's
That's
going
just
on?
across the river. Like I said, we had an argument with the college. She went to class. I went across the river. I came back.
How did you take her across the river today?
No.
Well, right now, we may be investigating a homicide. Hey, how about coming down to us getting a polygraph?
I'm not taking a polygraph. Are you kidding me? Like I said, the reliability of one of those situations is fucking almost, 50-50 as it is. Like I said, I'm not going to go down there and, submit myself to one of those. No.
And how much in the shirt can I test for human blood?
No.
How much you had to drink today? Nothing? I smell a little something on you.
She's not that sure fun.
Maybe she can.
Yeah, no, I guarantee she can. I guarantee it.
How do you know that?
Because I left her at the college. Unless someone fucking offed her up at the fucking college, I guarantee.
Also mentioned Dan.
That's me.
At this point, Sergeant Logston from the Astoria Police Department was able to conclude that an earlier 911 call about a college abduction at approximately 1 p.m. involved the same two subjects as the violent 911 calls at around 5:10 p.m.
Hello.
Hey, Summer.
What's up?
Do you remember the call at the college about the couple arguing and they left in a red truck? That would be Danny Kaiser and Barbara.
Okay.
He's here.
Uh-huh.
She's not.
Okay, where is she?
He's saying he doesn't know. He said he just come from across the river. And he's across the river, the cell phone call hit across the river, and he's got blood on him. We don't know where she's at. Call Pacific County and see if they had any reports of disturbances over there. And then let me know.
And he has blood on him?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's a witness there. Can you call her and see if they left together in the truck at that disturbance?
Okay, bye.
803 dispatch.
Go ahead.
That is affirmed. They left in the truck together, and she knows that the female's name was Barbara because she heard that.
Okay. Did they happen to mention who was driving?
The male subject was driving.
Eventually, through the help of a stranger, a good Samaritan, I was able to get a ride to a school near my home. I walked the rest of the way so the stranger would not know where I lived. My downstairs neighbor, Carrie, found me on the lawn.
Is Barbara home now?
Yeah, I just have to say that she is in really bad shape and she's not admitting to it. This is bad. It's bad.
What did she say happened?
That he tried to kill her.
Barbara. Hi. We got a call earlier of a disturbance at the college, and that was you and Danny. So what happened today? Okay. You seem real reluctant to say anything because you have a fear of him. Is that what's going on? Are you afraid of him?
I love him. I know he's a really good man.
Okay. Does a really good man beat you?
He's not a very good relationship person.
Okay. So what were you doing when he assaulted you? You know, we've got a copy of the tape of your call, and it's fairly obvious that he's assaulting you pretty hard.
Can I hear it?
You need to tell me what's going on. See, the problem is right now you're trying to protect him. You've got blood on your clothes, you got blood on your knee.
He has a bloody shirt too.
No, I have his bloody shirt, which is probably going to be your blood. Nobody deserves to get beaten. Nobody deserves to have somebody try to kill them. The girl down that lives below you is really concerned that he tried to kill you. And your neighbors said you had a very violent boyfriend, and that's Danny. And I know that he's had, I don't remember the girl's name, I can find it. She had a restraining order against him because their relationship was violent. Why do you feel sick?
I'm just nauseated.
That's a pretty good lump on the center of your forehead.
You got a pretty nasty injury to the head. And you got an injury to your knee, your hand.
And to your eye.
Yeah.
And it's obvious you're in pain. When you stand up, you groan. You've been holding your stomach. Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now, we thought that he killed you somewhere, and we seized his shirt as evidence in case you turned up dead. And she's being real reluctant to give me information.
I know she is.
What did she tell you happened?
Well, I saw her without her shirt on, so I saw what he had done. She said that he took like a torch to her. She said that he took a hammer to her head. She said I could see her hair was falling out.
You can see it big.
But he dragged her by her hair.
Did she say where this happened?
At the fish factory.
At the fish factory across the river?
In Chinook.
Okay.
She wouldn't lie to me, but she would lie to you guys.
Well, she's trying to be real protective of him.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the medical people checking her now because of that on her right eye. She's starting to get some swelling. She's got blood on her pants. I don't know if you noticed that.
When I first saw her, she had blood all over her arms and hands.
Okay. I don't know if you know anything about her boyfriend, but his last relationship, she had a restraining order against him. If you hear anything, call, or if he comes up, he starts bothering you guys, or causing any type of problem.
He threatens us before, through the floor.
Yeah.
Where I am extremely afraid of him.
Okay.
What's your emergency?
Yes, there's a domestic dispute over at 412 Chinook earlier, and now Barbara is down here hiding in the bottom with us while he is upstairs looking for us.
Okay, hold on just a second. I've got officers around. What's your name?
My name is Paul.
Is she in your apartment?
Yes, she is.
Okay, and he's upstairs right now?
He is upstairs.
So was she scared? Is that why she came down there?
We saw him walk upstairs, and we all came inside and locked the doors and closed the blinds.
Okay, so she's afraid of him.
As we all are.
He said something like, stop texting him, so I think she...
Message sent Wednesday, April 22nd, 2009 at 5:56 p.m.
Hey, Bobby, please call me. I'm sorry. You know, it's just, all I do is love you. I just don't want... please call me, Bobby. Please.
2009 at 8:13 p.m.
Hey, Bobby. Oh, I don't know why things went so bad. I just wish you knew how much I loved you. I just wish you knew that... God. Oh, please talk to me.
Please describe her demeanor when we were talking to her. Like having little flashbacks, like she would stop talking and then say, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm alive, and just, well, I'd say traumatized. I don't know a better way to put it. She told me that she was taken by van from the college, that she was taken across the river to his cannery, and he held her there and threatened her. He pulled her hair and struck her, and she didn't want me to tell the police.
Did she say why?
She was afraid of me.
Okay, so did Barbara indicate to you at that time how she got bruised up like that?
Yeah, she said Dan beat her up. At the time, I think she was trying to get away from him, but he was beating her up on a regular basis. Her left eye was bruised real bad, and both arms had bruises on them, and she had about a 6-inch gash on her back, fingernail scrape, where it scratched her real deep on her back.
We're watching TV, and I gave her a hug, and she was just like, then that's when I could start seeing the bruising.
Okay, hang on. What was her reaction when you tried to give her a hug?
Ouch, I hurt everywhere. Everywhere on my body. I mean, she said my whole body hurt.
Okay. Now, you said earlier that that's when you saw the bruising. Can you describe where, all the places you can remember where you saw bruises?
Around both eyes, cheeks, everything. Her jaw. I was always one of this busted. The arms.
Okay, when you say that you thought her jaw might be busted, can you please explain what was it about the jaw that looked unusual?
The way she was talking and just the bruising on it.
How was she talking?
Like she could hardly talk. It was hard for her to talk.
Did you observe any swelling anywhere? Or bumps?
The entire face, everywhere.
So her face was swollen?
Yes.
Did you feel like her head at all? To see if you could feel any bumps on her head?
There were bumps on her head, too.
Okay, do you remember about roughly how many bumps you felt on her head?
all through the hair, everywhere, you know.
Did you ask her as to how she got those injuries?
I did. She told me that she went through literal hell. And she tried to escape. She got beat.
Did she say who did it?
Yes, she did.
Who did it?
And type.
My name is Barbara Holland. I hope that this video has given you a better understanding of what domestic violence and Stockholm Syndrome are, how domestic violence works, and the role that Stockholm Syndrome plays, and how very important it is that you cooperate with law enforcement right away. If you are a victim and you refuse photographing of your injuries with law enforcement and advocacies, please take your own photographs. Store them in a safe place. You may want them later, and you won't have them if you don't take them. If you call 911, tell them where you are. They won't know if you don't tell them. They only know the billing address for the phone that you're using. Tell them where you are. Learn about crime victims' compensation. They paid my medical costs and medical appointments. This film is about so many things. I am so sorry I did not cooperate with law enforcement right away. If I could do do-overs, that would be the big one. I am so sorry I didn't get away from my batterer sooner. That would be another big one. But life doesn't give us do-overs. Life gives us the ability to move forward and help others.
People question what compelled me to tell what I did. It took many contributors to come forward. And then there was a movie about a woman who was raped. She struggled through the court process to help prosecute the man who raped her. As she left the courtroom, another woman stood from the pews and thanked her, saying she was grateful that the woman was strong enough to do this, that she herself couldn't do it before. The woman leaving replied, "What? You mean this happened to me because you didn't do anything?" Your Honor, thank you for allowing me to speak today. I'm told that I can say whatever I want, even use profanity, and that you won't stop me. But that's not who I am. I just want what's fair. I want justice. Even more, I want Kaiser rehabilitated to never ever harm a woman again. I am not his first victim, and I do not believe I will be his last. Alcohol and drug rehab is not domestic violence rehab. They are worlds apart. I'd like to thank Sergeant Logston and his team for their commitment to justice. They stayed over 2 hours past being off duty to help me. Thank you to Detective Andrew Randall, who interviewed both my son and I the following day. He treated us both with such respect, dignity, and consideration, and brilliantly verbally noted on the recorded interview each injury he could see. Thank you to the Women's Resources Advocate, Catherine Burr. Catherine tried very, very hard to convince me to allow photographs and to cooperate with law enforcement, but I just couldn't break from the Kaiser Stockholm web. Thank you to my supporters, past, present, and in spirit, the incredible ladies of the American Association of University Women, crime victims advocates, most especially Tammy Elliott, friends, and most of all my dad, who has been struggling between his own health issues and wanting to be by my side at each hearing. Thank you to the witnesses of this crime who have come forward despite the harassment. I know this has been incredibly difficult for all of you, and I am relieved that you do not have to go through any more of the struggles that you have faced between harassment by defense supporters, threatening your job or friendship, and doing what is right. Your Honor, I am here today for many reasons, but they all boil down to because it's the right thing to do. Someone has to say stop, no more.